Welcome back.
Oh, come on. I want to be here too.
How the hell?
I want to be...
So can we start, please?
Okay.
Welcome back to Beast Wars Wednesday. He's your host.
Decepticon Doug.
I'm your other host.
Predacon Paul.
Today, we are going to review a little episode called...
Double Dinobot.
This episode was written by Robbie Gorin. It's directed by John Poser.
It was a dark and stormy night. Megatron is all acting like Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
The creator, okay? Not the monster. From this, I guess, cloning pool or something, emerges a perfect clone of Dinobot. The turncoat who defected from Predacon to Maximal.
If you're not already aware.
If you're just joining us for the first time, you're like, what's a Beast War? Just bear with us for a little bit. Yes, so this clone is a perfect clone of Dinobot.
Bingo. Dino DNA.
But only in beast mode. It actually cannot transform into robot mode. But he still talks and is subservient to Megatron. And Megatron's like, hey, go to the Maximal base, get everyone out of there, disable the shield, I'll come and do the rest. And Megatron's like, Pterosaur, you're the guy who makes the most sense for the job. Unfortunately, go dispatch with the actual Dinobot.
Yeah.
It's a better choice than Waspinator.
It is, but come on now. You send Pterosaur, who is heavily armed, but has already proven himself incapable of being a match for Dinobot in every occasion they fought.
As it is, Pterosaur actually succeeds in burying Dinobot in a mountain. There you go. Dinobot's out of the story for a little while.
So Clone Dinobot decides, now's my chance. So he goes to the base. Says, yo, we're under attack. Big Bot's like, from where? Sector Omega. He's like, gotcha. Wait, there's nothing there.
Yeah, Optimus stays at the base. He's like, well, Dinobot, take Rat Trap and show us where the Pred's at. Where the Pred's at?
Where the Pred's at?
Where the Pred's at?
Damn Preds.
Because we can't see him here, so we gotta see him with our eyeballs. They go to the place and Rat Trap's like, where the Pred's at?
You know what? I should probably crawl over this precariously perched log.
Yeah.
Over this lava river. Just to make sure they're not across. Where I can clearly see they're not. But I'm going to get on this log anyway.
Dinobot clone is like,
it's a good idea.
What a good idea. He kicks the log down and Rat Trap's like, I knew it. Once a Pred, always a Pred. Then he falls, narrowly escaping death. That was close. Then the log burns up and he falls again. He lands on a rock floating in lava. Rat Trap has a horseshoe up his ass today. Woo! Dinobot clone goes back to the base, is like, oh, Optimus! Oh! Megatron and all the Predacons captured Rat Trap.
He's trapped.
I'm so hurt. You must go and save him.
You're our only hope.
I'll just repair myself. Optimus is like, okay. Off he goes. The shields go up. Clone Dinobot's like, excellent. He starts trying to take the shield down and realizes he doesn't even know the password. There's a password for the defense system, and Megatron didn't know that. So Rat Trap actually manages to save his butt.
His pink butt.
His pink butt, yes.
His pink furry butt.
And they're like, we thought you were dead. And Rat Trap's like, well, guess who should be dead? Dinobot, because I don't like him anymore because he tried to kill me. And then they're like, well, we just left him at the base. Uh-oh.
I can't believe it.
Okay.
I left him at the base. Optimus Dangerfield.
The actual Dinobot, he's not dead. But he finally breaks out of the rocks. He's like, that was really inconvenient. So he heads back to the base. He turns off the shield, but Clone Dinobot thinks that he turned off the shield because he's like, oh, I guess I'm lucky. They have a little confrontation in the Maximal base. Having one of those cool little like improv games with the mirror.
Here's a dramatic reenactment.
Who are you? I'm Decepticon Doug.
No, I'm Decepticon Doug.
No, I'm Decepticon Doug.
Who's Decepticon Doug?
I just released my inner velociraptor. Got in touch with my more feral side.
How did you feel?
I really understood where I was coming from.
Well, if anyone's going to get you, it's...
Yeah, I understood my character very well.
Wait a second. Are you the Doug? Are you my Doug?
Anyway, those two fight. Those two Dinobots, they're just fighting. Oh, by the way, the real Dinobot won't fight him in robot mode because it's not honorable.
Far be it from him to fight an inferior foe.
Exactly. It looks like in the scuffle, kind of by accident, the clone knocks out Dinobot by dropping a periscope on his head. Clone Dinobot's like, yeah, eat it, sucker. I'm gonna go talk to Megatron.
He has no idea what he just told Dinobot to do.
Dinobot may have taken it a little literally, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even mean to set that up, but I did.
I ran with it.
Dinobot goes out. He's like, Megatron, you are the best leader ever. I love you.
You're so much better than me in every way. You've got the best shade of purple I have ever seen. No one's got a better evil laugh than you.
Your voice is so Shakespearean.
Oh.
And Megatron's like, I like all these things that you're saying, but first, before I give you a big ol' hug, I'm going to go and take over the base. Then the clone's like, hey, base, turn the shield back on. And the shield turns on, and Megatron goes flying, falls on his face, and he's like, how dare you, my beautiful creation, turn your back on me.
You're just as treacherous as the real Dinobot.
But it is the real Dinobot. But no, really, it's the real Dinobot.
It really is.
And
He transforms and everything.
Yeah, and then Megatron's like, well, send a Pterosaur to do a Megatron job. That's what happens.
You never send a Pterosaur to do a Megatron job.
And so they fight. They shoot lasers at each other, and the lasers are like, one of those classic like laser,
like beam battles, like beam struggles,
yeah,
like Dragon Ball Z, like
just like Dragon Ball Z, but with eyes and mouths. And then the rest of the Maximals get there, and they separate the two. They're like, hey, will you two stop fighting?
There's children present.
This is a kid show. And then they shoot Megatron, and he has to run away.
Not before he slags Cheetor.
Megatron shoots Cheetor.
It's so funny. He just goes flying.
It's like, hey, man.
The day is yours, Maximal. And then off goes Cheetor.
This is for that time that you came into my base, and you just ran around and made a mess. Ratchet kind of did the same thing.
That's true.
Actually, Rhinox kind of did the same thing. Actually, Optimus kind of did the same thing.
They all did the same thing.
Every Maximal's had their chance to run around and mess up the Predacon base. In Megatron's monologue, he happened to mention that there was a clone, so the rest of Maximals are like, I guess that makes sense. Except for Ratchet, who's like,
I'm gonna believe Megatron, which is hilarious because,
fair enough. We're sure glad this wrapped up, but where is that clone anyway? Dinobot's like, I ate him. I ate my own clone. Anyway, that's really disgusting. And then Dinobot belches. The end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I have to get this party started?
If you want, I can get this party started. One of the things
Be clear, though. Nobody parties here but me.
Let's be even more clear for a second. There ain't no party.
Like an escort party. Oh my god. Now I want to listen to that song. It's going to become a guilty pleasure.
Oh, it's always been a guilty pleasure.
I completely forgot it existed until just now.
There's always been sort of, in a lot of cartoons, a double character kind of like idea that's happened. And usually there is some sort of tell, like visually, like their eyes are red or they got like a different shade in their hair or something like that, that just kind of presents it to the audience that, by the way, this one's the double. And then nobody else even notices in the story that this person suddenly has like glowing red eyes.
I can't think of like one example just off the top of my head, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's got spikes on his shoulders. How can you not tell?
Yeah, exactly. But in this case, there's no visual tell that the Dinobot clone is a clone. It looks exactly like Dinobot in Beast Mode. I like that the details of what differentiates him from the actual Dinobot is all in the mannerisms. He doesn't behave like Dinobot. He doesn't walk around like Dinobot. He's also a crappier actor than Dinobot. And, yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm injured. But also he's just more twitchy and he's more like, the voice is there, and he looks and sounds like him, but he just does not act like Dinobot. And I think that's a nice touch.
I think so too. One of the things I really enjoyed was the whole platforming that
Oh yeah, that's true.
Rat Trap was doing. He was really like surviving by like the skin of his teeth. I love how after all that happens, he just sort of like, on to Dinobot, that a-hole, I'm gonna get him. None of that like, holy crap, I almost just died. Like, if you fell into a lake of lava, you wouldn't sink. The rock, even though it's molten, is more dense than your body. So you would splat on top of it, and then you would just engulf in a flame. That's a horrible way to go. And Rat Trap's just sort of like, let's get Dinobot. I really don't like him.
I'm mad.
He just brushes it off. It's like little...
How dare he nearly kill me?
In the most excruciatingly horrible way possible.
And now I like him even less than I did before.
Actually, one of the things I did like is like right at the end of the episode, after Megatron blasts Cheetor, the very next frame is him hightailing it, and all you see is just like this hailstorm of weapons fire in behind him, and he's like, and then he gets hit before he leaves the frame. He's like, it's one of those moments where you see like almost like a vindictive side to the Maximals, because they're above shooting at someone who's clearly running away, but in this moment they're just like, everyone shoot him. They're like, Cheetor, you bastard.
Actually, another thing I did like is I do like the confrontation at the very end between Megatron and Dinobot. It's short, but I like seeing the two of them confront each other. It's something that happens actually kind of infrequently during the show, where they actually like battle, and when they do, it's kind of like, yeah. Dinobot's one of the only Maximals who can actually take Megatron head on. Probably the only other two is Rhinox and Optimus. Although Optimus really botched that up last episode.
I don't know about Optimus anymore, man.
And Rhinox only in like close combat. I feel like firepower wise, Megatron's got a lot on Rhinox.
Where Dinobot is not as strong, he's got the skills, the weapons, and the strength to go toe-to-toe with him.
Also, this mischievous side of Dinobot. You can tell he just took so much pleasure in activating the shield and shocking Megatron and sending him flying. And you can see him go like, ha.
He's like, the base is yours.
Like, he could have just put up the shield, turned on the automated defenses, and blasted Megatron before he got near the base. But he's like, I'm going to have some fun with this. Also, couldn't hurt to clear my name. That confrontation, I like it. I actually think that it's the highlight of the episode.
The fact that Dinobot had to struggle with his lasers, and then you could see on the sides of his cheeks there's these like vents. The circuits are like heating up and starting to overload.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
He's putting it all out there. It's a good thing the Maximals came when they did, because who knows how that would have ended. Would have been a bit of a mess. Little bits of Dinobot and Megatron all around the front yard of the Maximal base. That's how Dinobot wants to go. He wants to go out...
yeah, there's no better way for him to go.
Yeah. Okay, so anything else you liked?
No.
Well, then let's get into some of the problems of this episode, I guess.
Okay, come on.
Take it away.
Megatron has this plan, which hinges entirely on having a clone, so he's obviously thought this through. He's created a clone of Dinobot to try and infiltrate the enemy base, to disable the shields.
It's like the skeleton of a plan.
Yeah, but he has the skeleton of the plan, and then he just flies by the seat of his pants. It's like, bro, you have the clone, and you send Pterosaur off to kill Dinobot. At least send 2 people after him.
And knowing Megatron, he'd be like, Pterosaur, so what's going to happen is Dinobot's going to chase Waspinator into the mountain, collapse the mountain, buries them both.
Worst case scenario, we rebuild Waspinator, because he's the only bot that can still survive being literally torn to ribbons.
I remember that episode.
Me too.
Yeah.
But he sends Pterosaur, fine. The story had to progress. Pterosaur had plot armor. That's fine. But then he goes by himself to the base? Where the hell was everyone? This is how this meeting went down. This is my clone. Hey, clone.
Hello.
You're here. Thank God, because this is going to go according to plan. This whole plan's going to work. Go disable the shields. See ya. Here's what he should have done. You tell them that in Sector Omega, there's a huge thing going on and we're going to blast the base with a mega cannon. Okay, Spiders. You've been inventing that thing I told you to invent where it would make it look like there's 12 Predacon signatures in Sector Omega, right? They could even have some type of web trap or something. So then they scan and they go, oh, there are Predacons there. That way Dinobot could come limping into the base. I got ambushed, and then everyone can deploy, and then they can go and attack. Completely wasted the clone.
You know, to be fair, Clone hasn't been alive that long. He doesn't have a whole lot of street smarts. Yeah, I guess they reprogrammed something into his brain that he kind of knows how to work a computer and the names of everybody. But really, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
He bumbles his way through the entire time. Like, all he accomplished was being alone in the base.
And Megatron completely mismanaged his troops. There's a line in the episode that's sort of supposed to forgive it. It's like, where's all your troops? Oh, they're off preparing an ambush for the Maximals. And then the Maximals come. There's no sign of them ever being ambushed. It's like the Predacons get there and they're like, the Maximals aren't even here. They were just kind of making excuses to not use all the Predacons at Megatron's disposal just so that the plan could actually fail. The whole plan was very harebrained. Let's just hope this works. I mean, I feel like that's the fatal flaw of the episode. It just wasn't deeply considered enough.
It's not Megatron's fault that the writers made him completely give every single one of his troops the day off when he was trying to storm the base.
For the kind of tactician that Megatron should be and has been at certain times, it's pretty hard to just go he's just got too big of an ego. He has been and will continue to be very intelligent. He's supposed to be brilliant. And yeah, his ego has gotten the best of him, but he is capable of more as a commanding officer.
Oh, heck yeah.
We're going to give Double Dinobot 1.5 chunks of dino meat. That's disgusting. I feel like that's beyond cannibalism if you're just eating your own clone.
Clonabalism?
Clone, yeah.
Make a case for this episode, please. If you can justify why Megatron gave everyone the day off while he was going to storm the base, please, comment section.
Love to know why. Love to know what's going on in your head. Everything is subjective. Every opinion matters, and we would love to hear yours.
Share, like, subscribe, tell your mom.
Yeah, tell your brother. Tell your brother's mother. If your brother has the same mother as you, then tell your own mother. Or you can tell your brother to tell your mother. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening to us talk about our favorite cartoons.
Yes.
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 Bam, ba, 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 bam. Ding, 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 ding. Wow, 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 wow. Dana, 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 dana. And I mentioned this before, but I don't.
He mentioned this before.
I don't need to mention that I mentioned it before because clearly they don't know that I mentioned it before. And
Well, I do now.
I can present this as if it was new information, and you could just act like, oh, what a good point that you've made for the first time.
Mm-hmm.